Alright, y'all, these are all the albums I want this year. Point blank, period.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B Kid. I'm back again with my first video of the year for y'all. Happy New Year, happy 2021. This year already started off with some bullshit. I'm not gonna talk about the storming of the Capitol because it's a bunch of clownery, it's a bunch of foolery. But all I'll say is, you know, all my brothers and sisters out there, please stay safe and please, you know, stay aware, stay safe, but stay dangerous. And I would definitely say that this is America. That was America. Point blank, period. That was America. I'm not surprised. This is nothing new. The clownery and the foolery continues to persist into this new year, but it's okay. I'm gonna live my life right. I'm gonna mind my business and you know, attend to my own affairs because I don't have time to deal with all that white foolery. I ain't got time for that. But yeah, man, shout out to incoming, you know, President-elect Joe Biden and incoming Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Shout out to y'all and shout out to the maturity and, you know, just the maturity that y'all have bestowed upon the nation with the incoming, you know, with your incoming leadership. I appreciate it. For the old administration, wow, what a shameful way to go up. I'm not gonna talk about it because that's a bunch of foolery. But on a brighter note, the reason why I'm making this video is because I wanted to actually, the first video that I wanted to get out to you guys is talking about my albums that I want in 2021. It's a long list of albums I have for you guys, so I just want to run through them real quick. Yeah, man, from R&B to hip hop to pop, there's a bunch of albums that I really want this year. I don't think all these albums are gonna come out, but I'll just mention all the albums that I would love to come out this year if they could. So let's get into it, man. First, I'm gonna talk about R&B, then I'm gonna talk about hip hop, now I'll talk about pop. So let's get into it, y'all. Without further ado, here are the albums I want in 2021. Y'all ready? Let's go. Okay, first up is SZA. Yo, SZA, I'm waiting for the fall to Control. Control's one of my favorite albums of 2017. And honestly, I'm okay with SZA taking her time after Hit Different and Good Days, especially Good Days. If that's the type of quality we're gonna get on this new album, SZA, take your time, do what you gotta do. But she did say the album's coming out this year, so I'm excited for it. I'm waiting for SZA Vibes Back in My Life. I want Control Part 2. I'm waiting for that. So SZA, the album better come out this year. I'm waiting for it. SZA, don't play with us. The album needs to come out this year. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. Next up is Rihanna. Robin, come on, it's been 5 years since you got Anti. Let's go. I'm ready for this new album, man. I know you're working on all your business adventures, and that's cool, I get it. And I know you probably want to go quiet this year because we're still in COVID era, but Rihanna, I feel like during this summer I want your album, mama. Come on, we all want it. I know a lot of people are over it, but I still want R9. I'm waiting for it. That's one of the albums I'm waiting for a long time now. I'm excited to see where Rihanna goes for, you know, her new album in like her 30s. And you know, it's been like 5 years she's put out her last album, and I feel like she's in a new space and she wants to do reggae. Like, I'm really excited for where she'll go in this next album, so I'm waiting for it. Like I said, if she goes quiet this year, I'll get it because we're still in COVID era and a lot of the big stars have gone quiet. But I still feel like Rihanna should drop her album this year. This summer, I want that. Let's see what happens, but I really want R9. Rihanna, Robin, let's go. Next up is Miss Janet Jackson. Come on, Janet. It's been 5 years since she got her last album, Unbreakable, which was an amazing project. And I think she was gunning to drop her album, Black Diamond, last year, but COVID messed that up, as it did for a lot of artists. But I feel like this is a good year for her to get back on the train and get that album promo started. I want the new album this year, Janet. I know this, I feel like, especially because from the COVID era, I feel like this is a good time for her to put her album, she can still take care of her son and be low-key with it, you know, give virtual performances, but still promote her album. And if she drops her at the right time this year, I can see her getting a #1 album. So Janet Jackson, the legend, the queen herself, I would love your latest album this year if we can get it. I would love that. Next up, we got GIVEON. He's one of my favorite upcoming R&B artists in the game right now. His voice is everything. I love his music. He released 2 great EPs last year, but now I'd love for him to follow up with an amazing album in 2021 to really, like, you know, present himself to the world in a real way. I feel like his artist has so much potential to give to the game, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. He, like I said, his voice and music is amazing. GIVEON, I want the album this year, bro. Come and give it to us, man. I know the album's gonna be fire. Just give it to us. Thank you. Come on. Next up is Usher. I don't know if his album is still gonna be called Confessions 2 or not, but regardless, I want Usher's next album this year. I would love for it to come out this year. We also haven't got an Usher album in 5 years. I really love Usher's latest single, Bad Habits, and I feel like if that's an indication of what the album will sound like, I'm really excited for it. Usher, I feel like this is your time. You know, do it, man. I feel like this is a time for you to put out your album, get everything together, and put out this year. I would love for that to happen. Come on, man. Next up is the Robert Glasper Experiment. I hope they drop Black Radio 3 this year. Black Radio 1 and 2 are two of my favorite R&B albums of the past decade, so I'm looking forward to him continuing those vibes with Black Radio 3 this year, hopefully. Robert Glasper did it. He did release an album in 2019 called Fuck Your Feelings, which is an amazing album, nominated for a Grammy, amazing project. But I'm looking forward to him coming back with the Black Radio 3 series, which was more of a, I think, more of a better vibe than F Your Feelings was, even though I like that project. But Black Radio 3, I'm looking forward to all the feature artists they'll get on it, all the amazing chill R&B legendary classic vibes that will get on it. I'm excited for, hope we get this year. Black Radio 3, Robert Glasper Experiment, make it happen, y'all. Next up is Black, or 6 Lack, however you feel. But I feel like this year is the perfect year for Black to drop his album. We haven't gotten one since 2018, and I feel like this is the right time for Black to drop his album. I'm looking forward to whatever he's cooking up. I think he dropped EP last year that was fire, so I'm looking forward to him giving us those vibes on a full album this year, on a full project. I'm looking forward to it. Black, stop playing with us, stop being low key. I want that album this year, bro. Come on, this year I want that album. Black, stop playing with us. Next up is H.E.R, who has pretty much already given us like 2 full-length albums at this point, but we still have yet to get her official debut album. So H.E.R, I hope it comes out this year. After the fire that was Damaged, I hope that's a good sign of what the album will be bringing us and giving to us. Please, H.E.R, release your official album this year. We've been waiting forever for your debut album. Just give it to us this year. It's gonna be fire regardless. Just give it to us. You know, plan it out right, sequence it right, give us the good vibes, you know, the right songs, plan it out right, and just give us your fire debut album. Waiting for it this year. This year I need it. Come on, H.E.R, stop playing with us. H.E.R, you're everything. Give us the album this year. Come on. Next up is Kelly Rowland. I know a lot of people might not be hyped for a Kelly Rowland album in 21, but I am. I love Kelly Rowland. She's one of my favorite voices in music. I love her voice, I love her music, and she's one artist that I've really been frustrated with in terms of her rollout and promo schedule and strategy with her and her team. But if she's gonna drop her album this year, I'll be ready and hyped and waiting for her. So Kelly Rowland, I've been loving what you've been giving to us. I love Crazy, I love Hitman. I'm loving the, you know, the really like the disco funky vibes you're giving us with this new era. I'm waiting for the full album because I know it'll be fire. So Kelly Rowland, please bless us. I'm waiting for the album. Please bless us. Next up, I got Frank Ocean. Are y'all hyped for a Frank Ocean project or not? Honestly, to me, Blonde was okay. Channel Orange is still a masterpiece in my opinion. But I'm really looking forward to seeing hopefully Frank, you know, take advantage of the COVID era and be able to drop an album low key as hell, you know, not to be out and about shaking hands and kissing babies. Just, you know, give us virtual live performances, just drop the album whenever you want, and give it to the people. Like Frank Ocean, this is the perfect time for you to drop an album. You can be as low key as you want to and give us a fire project, so just do it, bro. It's been years since we got an album from him, so Frank Ocean, I feel like this is the time. Give us another album, bro. Waiting for it. I really feel like Frank Ocean has the ability to give us another masterpiece with his next album, so I'm really waiting for that. Frank Ocean, come on, man, let's get it. Next up is Arin Ray, who dropped his debut album, Platinum Fire, back in 2018, which is one of my favorite albums of that year. I'm looking forward to him giving us a follow-up, hopefully this year. I don't know if we'll get one this year, but I'd love to get one this year. Arin Ray is such an underrated R&B artist that has so much potential. His voice is crazy. His music is so good. He knows how to make a good album. So I'm looking forward to his second album. Hopefully it comes this year. Arin Ray, if you give it to us this year, I'll be waiting for it. I'm excited. Let's get it. Come on. Speaking of one of my other favorite R&B albums for 2018, Ella Mai. I really hope we get Ella Mai's sophomore album this year. I know a lot of people have not really been feeling her latest song, Not Another Love Song, but I love that song. And regardless, I still feel like Ella Mai made a great debut album, so I'm looking forward to her elevating even more and giving us even better music on the second album. I'm looking forward to. Hopefully this year it happens. I hope her and DJ Must have been cooking up some good stuff along with other producers as well. Ella Mai, I'm looking forward to a new album. I would love for it to happen this year, and you know, just come give it to us. I'm waiting for that. Next up is Snoh Aalegra, one of my faves. I love her so much. She's such a gem in R&B. She actually dropped her last album back in 2019, so she, you know, it's not like I'm thirsty for her new album, but I love for her to drop her latest album this year. I feel like this is a good time for her. I feel like people are kind of getting more up on who she is as an artist, so I feel like this is a good time for her to capitalize on that and just drop your next project sometime this year and just do your thing. Snoh Aalegra, I know it'll be fire whenever you drop it, so just do your thing and we'll be waiting for it. And I know I will eat it up because you drop nothing but fire. So Snoh Aalegra, come on, this year, give it to us, man, please. Next up is VanJess. Y'all gotta stop sleeping on my Nigerian sisters. VanJess are so good. I love them. The same time energy y'all give Cole and Halle, y'all need to start giving to VanJess. VanJess is amazing. Another fire R&B duo that I love. Their last album came out in 2018. It was Silk Canvas, was such a good album. Such a classic masterpiece that was just filled with so many good vibes, harmonies, vocals, production, vibe, concepts. Everything was just lit on the album. So I'm looking forward to seeing VanJess level up on their next album. They've been giving us constant singles in 2020, so I'm looking forward to that, you know, coming together for their next album this year. I feel like it'll be fire because I've been loving all the singles they've been dropping, from Slow Down to Curious to some other tracks. I've been loving everything they've been dropping last year. So hopefully the album will come out this year. It'll be fire. VanJess, whenever y'all drop, I'll be ready and waiting because y'all are fire. VanJess, I'm waiting for it. Please give us your album this year. I'm waiting for it. I promise you I'm waiting for it. Next up is Sevyn Streeter, one of my favorites, man. Such a gem in R&B. I love her so much. She was supposed to be dropping her album Drunken Words and Sober Thoughts last year, but I think it got delayed till this year. So hopefully it comes out this year at some point. One of my favorites, like I said. Her singles have been kind of mid for this album. Not bad, but they've been kind of mid. But I feel like she always makes it come together when she drops an album. So I'm looking forward to that. This should be her sophomore album after her debut album came out in 2017, which didn't do that well. So I'm and ever since she's gone independent, she's been struggling to really, like, you know, get the type of commercial clout that I feel like she deserves. But the music has been solid, so I'm looking forward to the album. Hopefully it'll be fire. She's such an underrated artist in R&B. Her writing is fire. Her pen is fire. She just has a great aura in her music that I love. So Sevyn Streeter, hopefully got her album this year. I'm looking forward to it because her music is fire. So let's come with it. Next up is Monica. Man, Monica been playing with us for a long time now. Her album was supposed to go out Chapter 38 years ago, and then it got changed to Trenches last fall. She said her album was dropping this month in January 2021. But we still haven't gotten an album cover or a track list or anything like that, so I don't know about that. But Monica, whenever you drop your album, hopefully this year, I'll be ready for it. I'll be excited for it. I really want that album this year. I'm excited for Monica. We've not gotten a Monica album since 2015. So I'm looking forward to Monica giving us a new album of new R&B classic bops for us. And hopefully we get that this year. Monica, stop playing with us. Give us the album this year. And that's all I gotta say. Next up is Miguel. Man, I've been waiting for a follow-up to War and Leisure for a minute now. That album was so fire that Miguel definitely needs to come out with an album this year to follow up for that amazing project. I'm looking forward to hopefully this year. I feel like Miguel goes to the album like every 3 or 4 years, so I feel like this is the perfect time for him to drop his next album and give us the new heat. Miguel, we've been waiting. Come on, man. I feel like Miguel's been gone for a little minute, so I'm waiting for him to come back onto the scene and give us a fire-ass album. I really need Miguel back on the scene. I've been missing his vibes. I love Miguel, and I'm looking forward to him coming back this year. I need that to happen this year. Miguel, stop playing with us. Drop the new album this year. Point blank, period. Next up, we got Masego, who dropped a little EP last year called Studying Abroad. So I'm not that thirsty for new Masego music, but I still feel like I'd love for him to drop a full album this year. If we don't get it, I won't be mad. We can get it next year, but I'd love for Masego to drop an album this year after his amazing debut album, Lady Lady, which came out back in 2018. That album really made Masego one of my favorites, low key. I love his music. I love his energy. I love his vibe. He's a great instrumentalist. He's a great singer. He just makes great songs. So I'm looking forward to him coming out the whole album this year. But like I said, if they don't happen, it's cool because he dropped the EP last year that you should go check out. But yeah, man, Masego, I would love an album this year. Let's see what happens. Next up, we got my girl Jorja Smith. I really hope she drops her album this year. She dropped her debut album in 2018, Lost and Found, and that was an amazing album that I really don't feel like I don't think it got the love it deserved when it came out. Jorja, but she's a UK artist, so I kind of get that. It's really hard for a lot of UK artists to really break into the American scene. Element was lucky. If you're not like an Adele or H.E.R type vibe, it's really hard for you to break into the American scene. So Jorja has some trouble getting to the American scene, but I'm hoping she'll have a better, swing of the bat with this album, with the sophomore album of hers. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it drops this year. I don't know if it'll drop this year, maybe next year, but I'd love for Jorja Smith album to drop this year. Let me know what you think about Jorja Smith dropping this year. I'm waiting for it. Are y'all? Let me know. Next up, we got Andra Day, who has a new movie coming out soon called The United States vs. Billie Holiday. I think it's coming out in February. I'm really excited for that movie. So shout out to Andra Day getting into her actress bag. I'm looking forward to that movie. But she has not dropped the album since 2015. So I'd love for Andra Day to give us a new album this year. It's been so long. I want a new album full of songs like Rise Up. And her new song that came out last year, Making Troubles Go Away, was one of my favorite songs that came out last year. I love that song so much. And it shows me that she's still in her bag. She's still vocally in her bag. Her voice voice is still as good as ever, and she's making good songs. I'm looking forward to her coming out with an album this year. Hopefully this year it'll happen. I feel like we needed this year. It's been so long. Andra Day, stop playing with us. You know, put out your movie. And then I told you know, towards the end of this year, I want a new album, or at least a single or something. Andra Day, stop playing with us. I want that new. Come on, stop playing with us. I want that new. All right, now we're about to go old school with it a little bit. Next up, we got D'Angelo, who has not dropped an album since 2014 with the Black Messiah album, which is one of the best R&B albums of the past decade. D'Angelo, I feel like this is a good time for him to come out. He can definitely take advantage of the COVID era. He doesn't like to come out the house, so this is the perfect time for him to just drop a fire ass legendary classic album. You know, promote as much as he wants to, and just put it out for the people, and you know, just stay at home and mind his business. Like, this is the perfect time for him to drop an album with the way he likes to release. He likes to release quietly and just go about his business. So I feel like this is a perfect year for him to do that. D'Angelo, I would love an album from you to really speak to the times, just like Black Messiah did. I would love for an album, you know, give us romantic bops, you know, give us social justice bops, just give us a melting pot of so many different vibes like you always do on every album. D'Angelo, you're a legendary artist. You make legendary albums, and love another one to add to your catalog this year. Please make it happen, D'Angelo. Please make it happen. And speaking of D'Angelo, the person who I'd love to see him go in a versus battle with, next up we got Maxwell. Maxwell hasn't dropped an album since 2016 with the Black Summer's Night album. I'm looking forward to him hopefully dropping the last album in this trilogy series of his this year. We haven't gotten a new Maxwell music in years, so I'd love for it to happen this year. I feel like this is also a good year for Maxwell to release music as well. I feel like this would be a good year for a lot of veterans to come back in R&B. So Maxwell, I hope he's one of those veterans that comes back this year and just does his thing with a great album. Maxwell, we miss you, bro. Come back and give us a project. We miss you. Come on, give us that last Black Summer's Night album. Give it to us this year. Come on, stop playing, man. Next up, we got Khalid, who I'm not that thirsty for new music from him, because we got an album in 2018 that was pretty good, Free Spirit, which is an album that I feel like just was not promoted enough. I feel like we could have had like 4 or 5 singles off the album instead of like 2 or 3, but it's all good. But yeah, I feel like Khalid, I feel like this is a good time for him to put out his next album, maybe next year, but I feel like this is a good time for him to do it. I feel like we haven't heard from him in a while, so I feel like Khalid should put out his next album this year. Let me know what y'all think about Khalid. Y'all want to know Khalid music or not? Let me know. Next up, we got Leon Bridges, one of my favorites in R&B. I love this man so much. He low-key dropped some of my favorite songs last year. Sweeter, the song with him and Lucky Day, All About You, and the song he did with, I think, John Mayer, Inside Friend. Like, those are my favorite songs that came out last year. So I'm looking forward to Leon giving us a new album this year. We haven't gotten an album since 2018 from him, and he's a great album artist. He makes amazing albums. So I'm looking forward to him, you know, giving us a new album this year. I would love for it to happen this year. Leon Bridges, I'm just salivating at the possibilities of what he could give us this year with the movement, with just him growing into himself more as a man and as an artist. I'm salivating what he give us with this next album. Leon Bridges, I'm ready, man. Give it to us. I'm ready. Next up, we got Tone Stith, who's maybe someone that a lot of y'all don't really know about like that, which is a shame, because my dude is an insane vocalist. He's a great writer. He's just a great artist that makes great music. He's not dropped an album since he dropped a little EP back in 2018, and his first album came out in 2017. So I love for him to drop a follow up this year. I liked his new song. I think it's called Devotion. I love that song. So I love for him to give us an album full of classic R&B bops, from head to toe, like he did on his last project. So I'm looking forward to that. Tone Stith, I love you, man. Please give us an album this year. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. I feel like it's been a couple years now, so I'm waiting for the album. Please give it to us this year. Next up is the internet. The internet. It's time, y'all. It's time. After Ego Death and Hive Mind, I feel like those are 3 years apart. It's 3 years now after y'all last album. Give it to us now. Y'all been quiet as hell lately. Internet, y'all been quiet as hell. I want an album from y'all this year. Give us an album this year. The internet, I love y'all vibes. You guys are such an eccentric, cool, amazing R&B group that I love. Please give us y'all new album this year. I want it this year. The internet, it's time, y'all. Y'all been quiet as hell. Drop the album this year. I'm waiting for that. That's gonna be crazy. When it drops, it's gonna be crazy. I love the internet. That one will be fire. I know it will be. Next up, we got Teedra Moses, who I love so much. Teedra Moses hasn't given us an album since 2015, so I'm looking forward to her dropping her new album this year. Apparently, it's called The Bullshit, which I think is a really funny album from her, and that's a really fitting title for a Teedra Moses album. But Teedra Moses, give us a new album this year. I'm looking forward to it. Your music is amazing. I feel like it's about time for you to drop a new album, so please give it to us this year. Please do that. And lastly, for R&B, we got Mary J. Blige. I'm not thirsty for a Mary J. Blige album, but I feel like it's time for for her to give us a new album. It's been 4 years since her last album, and with her getting our renewed clout with her stuff in movies, and with her being on Power Book 2, I'm loving her as Monet Tejada. I don't know about y'all. I know a lot of people be like, oh, Mary's doing too much. I love Mary in Power, so I love her. I love her role there, and I just feel like this is a good time for her to put her album out with her having her name out there in the media a lot more compared to like the last few years. So Mary J. Blige, I think it would be a good time for you to drop your album sometime at some point this year. Please do it. Please give it to us. I hope you're cooking up with DJ Camper or other people and just cooking that fire up for us. Come on, Mary, give us another fire album in your catalog. I'd love for that to happen. Mary J. Blige this year, make it happen. Alright, y'all, so now we're on to hip-hop albums that I want in 2021. And let's start off first with the king himself, King Kendrick Lamar. Please, I hope you don't disappoint us, and I hope you drop your next album this year after the amazing Damn that came out in 2017. I feel like we need a Kendrick album this year to talk about the movement, everything that happened in 2020. I want to hear where Kendrick is at in his life right now, where he's at with the world, what he thinks about everything that's going on. I just want his narrative, I want his voice, I want his perspective in the game so badly right now. Kendrick, drop album this year. I feel like you're ready. I feel like he's been cooking up for a minute now, so I'm waiting for him to drop it this year. I feel like we're definitely getting a Kendrick album this year, so I'm waiting for that. That's the one hip-hop album that I think out of anybody, I'm waiting for mostly his album this year. I'm waiting for that. Kendrick, please don't disappoint us and just drop another classic on us this year. Drop another classic on him. Drop it, man. Drop it. I'm ready for it. Whenever you're ready, I'm here. Next up, we got J. Cole. I'm waiting for a J. Cole album this year. We've not gotten one since KOD, which is the album that I loved back in 2018. I don't know if It's a Boy is the name of a song or a mixtape that's supposed to be coming out before The Fall Off, but The Fall Off, whenever it comes out, this year I'll be waiting for it. That's his supposedly last album, which is, as J. Cole fan, I'm really sad about, but at the end of the day, I can see J. Cole being in the game. I can see that, so it's cool. But yeah, man, The Fall Off, I'm waiting for it whenever it drops. I hope it's fire. And I know it'll be fire, but I'm waiting for it to come out this year. So J. Cole, come with that fire this year, bro. I'm ready for you. Come with that fire. Next up, we got Cardi B. I'm waiting for Cardi B's new album, man. I don't know if it's still going to be called Tiger Woods. I hope it's not going to be called Tiger Woods, but whatever it's called, whatever it's coming out, I'll be ready for it. After the success of WAP, I think that just shows that people are waiting for Cardi B's next album, and I feel like with her being at a weird place and not knowing what's really going, I think it's actually a good thing. I think it gives her more time to really settle into the music she's making and really be more strategic about what she puts out. And I really feel like she's gonna give us all the fire she can on this next album. Invasion of Privacy was a great debut, so imagine what she'll do with the sophomore album when she's more, now that she's more versed in the game. I feel like she'll give us an even better sophomore album, so I'm excited for it. Let's see what happens. For Cardi B, I'm waiting for that album. I'm excited for that one. For real, I'm excited for that one. Low-key. Next up, we got Nicki Minaj, and I'm not so sure how likely Nicki is to want to drop her album this year, with her having, dropped her baby, first and foremost, which is that's mostly important. Shout out to Little Minaj. But yeah, I would love for Nicki to drop her album this year at some point, but like I said, I'm not pressed if she will or not, because she just had her baby. But I feel like it's been 3 years since we got a Nicki album, so I feel like I like one this year. But Nicki, whenever you're ready, I'll be ready too. If we get next year, that's cool too. But yeah, Nicki's someone I've been thinking about in terms of what her next album will be. Like, I'm excited to see what she'll go for her next album, because I feel like her next album has to be like her best and most classic album to date. So I'm excited to see what she'll do with it. But whenever she drops it, I'll be ready for it. And speaking of Nicki, next up we got that boy Drake, who I'm actually low-key excited for this year. I'm excited to see what he does this year. I feel like this could be a really big year for Drake with Certified Lover Boy, which should be dropping this month, but no album cover, no track list, nothing. So I don't really know if that'll happen. Hopefully it does. But yeah, Drake is one I'm really excited for, to see what happens with the Certified Lover Boy era. I don't know if he's going in more of an R&B direction, or he's going all full hip-hop, or if he's mixing both like he always does. I don't know what he's doing this era, but I'm excited for it regardless. But yeah, man, Drake, whenever he drops that album, I'm excited to see what it does for the culture. I'm excited for this one. Yeah, so Drake is definitely one I'm excited for this year. Let me know what y'all think about that one. Next up, we got that boy Travis Scott. Waiting for Utopia. I feel like to Utopia should definitely drop this year. After all the fire that Travis Scott's been dropping the past few years, you know, Highest in the Room, the Scotts franchise, I feel like Travis Scott is definitely in his bag right now in terms of what he's been cooking up. I feel like Utopia will be almost like an Astroworld Part 2, like, but in a different way. So I'm excited for it. Utopia, I have good vibes about it. Whenever it's coming, I'll be ready for it. And that's definitely an album that I feel like is gonna really define the culture for this year whenever it drops. So I'm excited for Travis Scott's album. Yeah, let's see what he does with it. Let's see what he drops it. But whenever it drops, I'll be ready and waiting. Let's see what happens. Next up is that boy JDJ, JID. I don't really know if JID's planning to drop an album this year. I don't really know if he is. Let me know if y'all have heard word about it. But I really feel like I'd love for him to drop his new album this year. His last album came out back in 2018. So, and I know he's done a lot of stuff with Spillage Village and a lot of stuff with Dreamville. So I've not been that thirsty for JID because I've been hearing a lot. I've been hearing a lot of JID stuff over the past few years. He's been keeping me fed. But in terms of his own solo album, I'm waiting for that, and I'm really hope it drops this year. I don't know if he's really planning to drop, like I said, but I really hope he does this year because I feel like JID is someone I'm waiting for him to really start blowing up in more of a bigger way in the culture. And I feel like this is a year you can take advantage of really just dropping some fire and letting things build up for him. So JID, whenever you're ready, bro, I'm waiting. Next up is Chika, Grammy nominated, my fellow Nigerian sister Chika. Such a fire rapper, a fire artist. I'm waiting for her to drop her first full-length album. She gave us an EP, Industry Games, which I believe dropped at some point last year. Fire EP, got her Grammy nominated, but now I'm waiting for the full-length debut album. Give us the full package, Chika. I'm waiting for it. I really feel like Chika can go in so many different directions with her music. She has so many different colors to her artistry, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing how she packages it in one collection for her debut album. I'm looking forward to seeing what she'll do with the type of vibe she'll give us. I'm excited for it. Chika's so multifaceted. She has so much potential to go in so many different directions and really be a really unique artist. I'm looking forward to seeing how she defines that for her debut album. Chika, whenever you're ready, mama, I'm ready and waiting. I know your album will be fire, so I hope we get it this year. Please bless us this year. Please bless us. Next up, we got Pusha T, who dropped my favorite rap albums of 2018, Daytona. That album was amazing, short, sweet, to the point. That was an iconic project in my opinion. I'm sorry for the reaction. Me and my homies were having a long day. That was a bad video. I'm sorry for that. But that album was amazing. And he said he's still working with Kanye West and Pharrell on this new album as well. So I feel like this album will be amazing. I feel like Pusha T will get in his bag and give us another amazing rap album this year. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it drops this year. But Pusha T, take your time because greatness takes time, so do your thing. But hopefully we get it at some point this year. I'm looking forward to that. Pusha T, I'm waiting, bro. Next up, we got Jay-Z, who dropped his last album, 444, in 2017. That was an amazing project and definitely one of the highlights of that year. I feel like this is a good time for him to drop because I don't honestly think Beyonce will drop until next year because she's giving us some stuff, the Lion King, the Gift era, and Black is King and all that. So I feel like Beyonce will chill this year, and I'm okay with that. So I feel like this is a good time for Jay-Z to drop his album and give it to the culture. Give us your first album of the 2020s, Jay-Z. Like, just do it. I feel like this is a good year for him to drop. I don't know if he's making music. I don't really feel like that's been his focus, but I'm hoping we get an album this year. I'd love for that to happen, but like I said, I'm not sure if that'll happen because I feel like Jay-Z's been chilling. But that's an album I'd love to get in this year. Let's see what happens. Next up, we got Westside Boogie, who used to go by Boogie, a rapper that I love from California. I love his new song with Joey Badass called Outside. I love that track. Outside is such a fire track. So I feel like if that's the vibe to get on this new album, I'm looking forward to it. His last album, his debut album, Everything's for Sale, came out back in early 2019. So it's not been that long since we got his last album, but I still feel like this is a good time for him to follow it up with his next album. Westside Boogie's really fire dude. I love his music, and I really feel like this will be a good year for him to really put out that next project and just continue to have him rise up in the ranks in the game because he's a really underrated dude, really solid rapper. So Westside Boogie, drop that album this year, bro. I'll be waiting for it. And speaking of Joey Badass is next on my list. I'm waiting for his next album. His last album, All American Badass, was one of my favorite rap albums from 2017. I love that album so much. I just got it on vinyl. So I would love for him to drop his next album this year. I feel like Joey's been cooking for a good minute now. So I feel like this will be a good year for Joey to drop his next project and give it to the people. Joey Badass is someone I really feel like will have a lot of great songs about what's going going on in the world right now. I feel like it's kind of like Kendrick. I'm waiting for his perspective too, because he has really good perspective on, you know, on just all the things going on in the world with, you know, with the Black Lives Matter movement, with everything in politics. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he'll say in this new album, how he'll give it to us, you know, what the music will sound like. I'm looking forward to that. Joey Badass is one I really have my eyes on this year, and hopefully he gives us a fire album this year. I'm looking forward to that. Joey Badass, stop playing and bless us with the new album this year. Give it to us, bro, please. Next up, we got Meek Mill. He's another one I'm looking forward to dropping this year, hopefully, as well. I feel like Meek is ready to drop this year. He said he's gonna drop an album at the end of last year, but it didn't happen, so hopefully we'll get it this year. Meek Mill, whatever whenever you're ready to drop, whatever the album's gonna be about, whatever the vibes will be, I'm looking forward to. His last album, Championships, was amazing, so I'm looking forward to seeing what this new album will be like. I feel like it'll be just as fire, if not more. So yeah, man, Meek, I'm ready for it. Whenever you're ready, bro, I'm waiting. Next up on my list is Tierra Whack, who dropped one of the most interesting projects of 2018. It was a 15-minute album full of 1-minute songs. So because that was such a special album, because Tierra is such a special artist, I really feel like if she plays her cards right, I feel like she has potential to drop one of the most fire albums this year. I really feel like I want her to drop more like regular length, like, fully fleshed out album, and I feel like if she does that, the album could be fire. It could be bananas, because Tierra Whack is a really special artist that has such an amazing talent and such an amazing perspective on music and on life. So I really feel like she could drop an album that'll be crazy this year. So I'm looking forward to that. Tierra Whack, whenever you're ready, drop that album, mama. It's gonna be fire. I'm waiting for that. That's gonna be crazy. Next up is Isaiah Rashad, another member of TDE, and I'm hoping drops an album this year. We ain't got an Isaiah Rashad album in like 5-6 years. The last album we dropped came out in 2016, so it's been a minute. So hopefully we get a new album from Isaiah Rashad. Fire dude, fire rapper. So I'm hoping we get that this year. I have no idea what type of direction he'll be going in, but I feel like whatever he does, I feel like I'll like it, because he's a really consistent rapper. So Isaiah Rashad, TDE, get him going. Like, I want the album this year. Stop playing. Next up, we got No Name, who dropped her last album, Room 25, back in 2018. That was a really fire album. One of the best albums of that year. Such a special album. No Name is so fire. So I'm looking forward to her dropping her next album this year. Hopefully that'll happen this year. I would love for her take on the culture, her take on life right now, everything that's going on in the world. She's such a creative rapper. She has such a really effervescent nature to her. So I'm looking forward to her dropping her album this year. I feel like it'll be fire. But yeah, man, when I think about it, women have really been doing their thing in rap, especially last year, and I feel like they'll continue to do their thing this year. Like, I'm looking forward to a lot of female rap albums this year, like, Nicki, Cardi, No Name, Tierra Whack, Chica. Like, yeah, I'm looking forward to a lot of female rap albums this year. I feel like females are gonna come through with some dope albums, so I'm looking forward to that, and No Name is one of them. Next up, we got Vince Staples, who came out with his last album, FM, back in 2018. That was a really dope project. Kind of came and went, but that was a really cool album. So I'm looking forward to Vince coming out with a new project this year. I feel like it's time for Vince to come out with a new project. Vince been doing his thing in the media and all that, but and he's been quiet otherwise. But Vince, I feel like there's a good time for you to drop your album. Just drop it and do your thing, give it to the people and let it go. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing what Vince is gonna be cooking up during this era of his career. So I'm looking forward to that. Vince Staples, whenever you're ready, bro, I'm gonna check it out for sure. All right, next up is Pardison Fontaine, who was one of the last inclusions on this list. I forgot about him, but when I remember one of his songs, I was like, oh yeah, what happened to Pardison Fontaine? Like, he dropped his last album back in 2018, Underrated. That was a great album. Pardison Fontaine is a great writer, great rapper, writes for a lot of your favorite artists. He's really been doing this thing for a while now, but he's been quiet for like a year or so. So hopefully he comes out with this new album this year. I'm looking forward to that. Pardison Fontaine is fire. So Pardison Fontaine, please drop your album this year, bro. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if we'll get it this year, but I'd love for it to happen this year. But yeah, man, whenever you drop, I'll be ready and waiting. And the last person on my hip-hop list is Stefflon Don, who y'all probably forgot about, but I love Stefflon Don. She hasn't actually dropped the album yet. She's dropped, a bunch of singles and EPs and mixtapes, but she hasn't given us an actual album yet. So hopefully we get an album from Stefflon Don in 2021. But I'm not holding my breath for that one, but hopefully we get an album from Stefflon Don, because she's so fire. I love the reggae dancehall vibes that she brings into hip-hop, and she's so fire. So I would love an album from her this year. Yeah, man, but let's see what happens with that one. I'm not gonna hold my breath, but I'd love for that to happen. Stefflon Don, hope you're cooking up, because I'm waiting for the album. I would love for it to happen this year. All right, y'all, and now we're on to my pop albums that I want in 2021. This is a shorter list, but let's get into it. First up, I gotta start off with, of course, Miss Adele. Adele is definitely one of the main pop albums I'm I'm waiting for this year in 2021. Adele, it's been over 5 years since you got your last album, 25. I feel like I'm waiting for Adele to just come through and kill the game with whatever she drops. I feel like whenever she drops, it's gonna like stop the world for a second, and it's gonna take over. It's gonna take over the year's Grammys. Like you know, it's the same story with Adele every time. But I'm looking forward to it regardless. I'm looking forward to seeing especially where Adele goes musically for this next album. I'm looking forward to seeing like who she collaborates with. You know, what the music sounds like. You know, what the writing will be like. What she's gonna be talking about. You know, with her just having broken up with her husband and, you know, raising her child and everything in the world, like, you know, losing the weight. Like, I feel like Adele's so much to pull from, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she does in the next album. I'm looking forward to it, and I feel like I said, I feel like she'll stop the world whenever she drops. So yeah, Adele is the one I'm looking forward to seeing, like, what happens when that album drops this year. Hopefully it'll drop this year. I don't feel like Adele will wait past this year. I feel like she's gonna drop it this year, but now let's just see what happens. But I'm excited for that one. Adele is definitely what I'm excited for. Let's see what happens to that album. Next up, speaking of other, you know, blue-eyed soul singers from the UK, next up is H.E.R, who's one that I'm not that thirsty for a new album for, but I really want at the same time. I'm not that thirsty because he's been kind of taking like a break, so I'm not expecting much. But he did just put out a new single at the end of last year called Afterglow. That was cool, but I'm looking forward, if he does want to put out a new album this year, I'm looking forward to it because I love H.E.R a lot. I always love when he drops an album. I feel like he always, you know, just comes through with a very good era every time he drops. So I'm looking forward to an H.E.R album this year. If it does come out, I'll be looking forward to that. But if it doesn't come out this year, then that's fine too. Hopefully next year. But if it does come out this year, I'm excited for that one. So H.E.R definitely have to go on this list for sure. Let me know if y'all hype for H.E.R album or not. Alright y'all, next up is Justin Timberlake. I know a lot of y'all might think that's corny, and a lot of y'all might be throwing tomatoes at your screen right now, and that's fine. But actually, my Man in the Woods reaction was actually one of my first like early popular videos. So y'all know I'm a big fan of Justin Timberlake. I love his music, and I know he's been in the studio with Timbaland, Pharrell, and Max Martin. So I feel like that's gonna be a great combination for, you know, classic JT music. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if that'll come this year, but if that's the album that does come this year, I'll be definitely excited for that one. I feel like this will be a good year for JT to drop his new album, so I'm excited for that. But if it comes next year, that's cool too. But JT's album is definitely an album I'd love in 2021. JT, come on man, I'm ready. Like you and Timbo, Pharrell, and Max Martin, I'm ready for new vibes. Let's get it. I'm ready for new vibes. Let's do a better version of Man in the Woods. Man in the Woods wasn't bad, but it also wasn't what I think you could really do. So with this new album, I want you to get into your bag for the new generation. Let's get into it. Come on, man. All right, y'all. Next up is Christina Aguilera. She had a long break between her Lotus and Liberation albums. So hopefully for this new album, we will get it this year. So we won't have that long of a break between her last album. Liberation was pretty good, but I'm looking forward to her, you know, going into a new direction for this new album. She always gives us a new vibe every different era, so I like that about her. She's one of my favorite vocalists in the game, so I'm looking forward to her new album if it'll come this year. I would love for Christina Aguilera to get back into her R&B soul bag. I would love for that. You know, give us more of those stripped and back to basics vibes. I'd love that for this new album. So yeah, man, Christina Aguilera, if your album drops this year, I'm waiting for it. Let's go. Next up, we got Bruno Mars. Bruno, where the hell you been at, bro? It's been literally 4 years since we got Bruno's last album, 24 Karat Magic, which was more, that was a really, that was like a staple album of the last decade. I love that album. One album of the year, which that album was just fire from head to toe. So Bruno Mars, I feel like you've been missing for a while in the game now. I want your new album like yesterday. I need an album full of like classic Thomas bops that you always give us. Bruno Mars, I'm ready for that album. Why are you playing with us? Stop playing. You better be the studio cooking. Bruno Mars, stop playing with us. Give us the album this year. I need those bops, man. Come on, stop playing with us. What? Next up is Billie Eilish. I'm not that thirsty for her new music because she's been giving us constant singles, and she just dropped her debut album in 2019. So I've been fed, but I still feel like this would be a good year for Billie to follow up with her sophomore album. You know, When We Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go was a moment in time. So I'm looking forward to seeing how she'll follow it up with her next album. If it comes next year, that's cool too, but I low-key feel like I would love for it to come out this year, especially after the vibes we've gotten with My Feature and Therefore I Am. I'm looking forward to a new album with her and Phineas. I feel like they're gonna give us even more dope vibes than we got with the debut album, so I'm excited for that. Billie Eilish is definitely one I'm looking forward to seeing her drop this year if she can. But if she doesn't, I won't be tight, but I'd love for her album this year. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all want a Billie album this year too or not? Let me know. All right, next up we got Miss Doja Cat, Miss Doja Kitty, you know what I'm saying? I've really been loving her music and the way her team has been promoting her for the past year. She's been on fire with the music, performances, everything. I love her. She's growing into becoming an amazing career artist. I just love what she gets to the game. She just came out with her debut album, or her sophomore album, Hot Pink, at the end of 2019, so I'm not that thirsty for new music, but I heard she has a new album coming out this year that's supposed to be called Planet Her, allegedly, potentially. So I'm excited for it. I feel like this is a good time for Doja Cat to just give us a new project while she's been on fire lately. I feel a lot of people slept on Hot Pink because she was still birthing as an artist, she was still coming in to her own as an artist, but I feel like now that more people know about her, I feel like it's time for her to just drop that project that'll really solidify her career, and I feel like this album will be the one that'll do that. So Planet Her, if it's called that, whatever it's gonna be called, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the features. I'm excited to see where she'll go musically. I'm just excited for everything. Doja Cat, I would love for your project to come out this year. I'm waiting for that one. So yeah, man, Doja Cat, I know you won't disappoint, but whenever you're ready, guess who'll be ready? Me. All right, next up is Say Grace, a really dope Australian like R&B pop singer who put out an EP last year that I really liked, but I'd love for her to drop her official sophomore album this year. I'd love for that to happen. She's such a dope vocalist. Her voice is insane. Her music is dope. She came out with her debut album FMA, Forgive My Attitude, back in 2016, so it's been a minute since we got Grace music, but I know she's independent now. But yeah, that's an album I really will be looking forward to in pop. I love Say Grace. Her voice is dope, her music is dope, and I'd love to see where she'll go for this next, for this next era of her career. I'm looking forward to that. Say Grace, please drop your album this year. I'm waiting for that. Please drop your album. I'm definitely waiting for that. Next up is Lorde. So Lorde is someone I don't really like stand for like that, but I do like her music. I appreciate her. Her debut, Pure Heroin, was amazing. Her sophomore album, Melodrama, was dope too. So I'm looking forward to her dropping an album this year. Hopefully, I feel like it's been a while since we got her music, since 2017. So I feel like it's about time for her to drop her next album. Lorde is someone I feel like can really come out with a great album this year, and I feel like she can really give a lot to the pop world this year. So I'm looking forward to her dropping an album that'll just be one of the mainstays in pop this year. I'm looking forward to that. So Lorde, I feel like your fans are ready. I'm ready for an album from you. Hopefully you drop it this year, and let's see what you can do. I'm ready. Next up is Julia Michaels. I have no idea if Julia Michaels is planning to drop an album this year. She loves EPs. She drops EPs all the time, but she's not really an album girl like that. But I would love for her to drop her, I think it'll be her debut album this year. She's dropped singles and EPs left and right for years now, but I love her to drop her official debut album. She dropped a single last year called Lie to Me that I love. So hopefully that'll be a teaser for the upcoming album this year. She's one of my favorite writers in the game. Her pen is insane. She's literally the writer behind some of your favorite songs that you didn't even know she wrote. So I'm looking forward to her dropping her official statement to the world as a solo artist. I would love for that to happen this year. Julia Michaels, I really feel like your album should drop this year. Let's do it. Let's get the promo started. Let's get it going. And yeah, man, let's get it. I'm excited for your album. Your pen is crazy, so I'm looking forward to seeing what you do for your official debut album. I'm really excited for that. Julia Michaels, don't disappoint me. Drop it this year. Let's go. Next up is Alessia Cara, who I'm a really big fan of. I know a lot of y'all don't like her because of that whole Grammy scandal, that whole Grammy fiasco, her winning Best New Artist. But that really wasn't her fault at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm a really big fan of Alessia Cara. I love her music, and she hasn't dropped an album since her second album, The Pains of Growing, which came out back in 2018. And that album really came and went, and I felt bad about the way it flopped because that was a really good album. I had some gems on it. But I'm looking forward to her dropping her new album hopefully this year. She's more mature now. Hopefully she has more to say. Hopefully she has more of an idea of where she wants to go for her next album. So hopefully it drops this year. It's been a while since we've heard from her. So I'm looking forward to her dropping this year. But at the end of the day, Alessia, no rush. You're an artist, so I know that takes time. She's a writer. She's really in her shit. So do your thing. But I would love your album this year if you can get it. I love that. And last on my list for pop is Tori Kelly, one of my favorite vocalists in the game. Her voice is insane. I love her so much. Y'all gotta stop sleeping on Tori Kelly. She came out with the EP last year called Solitude. That was nice. Like things like 4 or 5 songs were all great. But I love for her to drop her next album this year. She dropped her last album in 2019, and I feel like a lot of people just it came and went. A lot of people didn't really know it dropped, but that was a really solid album. So I'd love for her to really get into more of a pronounced pop and or R&B sound for this album. I feel like for the last album, she just really went acoustic for the whole album. That was cool. It was great because that's her bag. But I really want her to kind of push the envelope a little bit and really give us more of a pronounced vibe and more of a pronounced sound that makes her stand out a little bit more. Whether that's more on the R&B side or more on the pop side, because she can do both because her voice is so versatile. She's an amazing artist, amazing writer, great vocalist. I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do on her next album, which I'd love for it to drop this year if it can. If it don't happen this year, that's cool. Hopefully next year, but I'd love for Tori to drop her album this year. Tori, let's get it. I'm waiting, mama. I'm waiting. All right, y'all. So that was my video, all the albums that I want in 2021. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below what you thought about my list, and let me know if there's anybody that you're really waiting for this year year that I forgot to talk about, that I missed. I think I got almost everybody that I care about, but there's probably some people that I forgot about. So let me know down below who you're really waiting for this year. Let me know the albums that you're really waiting for, and also comment down below like what is like the one album or who is the one artist you're waiting for to come back more than any other person this year. I know a lot of y'all might say like, you know, Drake, Rihanna, SZA, Kendrick, and that's cool too. Those are some mines. But let me know, like, for you, who's like the one artist or the one album you're waiting for more than any other project this year. Let me know down below. I really want to know that. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my list. Hope you guys enjoyed who I was talking about. Hope you guys agree with my list. And like I said, let me know if there's anybody I missed. I really want to know. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay? Appreciate y'all. And like I always say, guys, live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song, make you feel better, okay? Go listen to your favorite song. And please, guys, wear your mask, wash your hands, and social distance as much as you can, okay? I'm gonna say it again. Mask up, wash your hands, and social distance as much as you can. Come on, y'all, we gotta get it right. It's a panoramic, it's a panorini. It's a panorini. But yeah, man, also when it's your time to get vaccinated this year, please do it and don't hesitate to get vaccinated. It's, you know, come on, we all gotta do it for the sake of our public health. Please, y'all, don't hesitate to get vaccinated. Please get vaccinated once your time. But yeah, I'm gonna get off my public health soapbox. Y'all know how I do. All right, y'all, but I appreciate you watching this video. Thank you so much. This has been your boy Bright, the R&B Kid. Thank you for watching. But for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all. Peace.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit, you don't gotta worry, you can just